So we often hear no two democracies ever go to war. But democracies don't seem to have a problem doing genocides or killing millions in Iraq or invading other countries they disagree with. Make no mistake, what we're all witnessing in Gaza is a genocide. And all the Western nations, like the US, the UK, France, Germany, the European Union, Australia, Canada, all the Western allied nations and all their institutions, their leaders, media, are all complicit in this genocide. Because they are not just supporting Israel with diplomatic language, no. They're supplying weapons and aid. The entire Western media landscape is functioning as a propaganda machine to justify Israel's war crimes. Therefore, every death of a Palestinian child, woman, man, in Gaza is on the head of these nations, and this will not be forgotten. Those of us who are students of history have read about how the native Indians were wiped out, how the Aboriginals were wiped out, the Zulus of South Africa. We read about these human catastrophes while trying to understand how those events unfolded, what justified them, how did the people perpetrating those war crimes justify it to themselves. And all the while we imagine we have moved on, we could never do what they did. It's something from our shameful past. No. No. It isn't from our past. We are. The world is seeing ethnic cleansing, war crimes, genocide on its TV today. And guess what? Not only is it seeing it, it's wholeheartedly funding and cheering it on. We are lying to ourselves if we believe we have moved on as a species from the terrible age of repression, oppression, and colonialism. We can now actually imagine how it happened in the past because it's happening today. The world said never again after the Holocaust. But no one told us the full line went never again unless it's Palestine. Sadly, the lesson the world will take from this is no law, no international institution can guarantee your safety. Israel has ignored dozens of UN resolutions. It has killed nearly 20,000 civilians in Gaza. The sole superpower, the United States, the European Union, the Europeans and their allies, the so-called civilized world, are all behind Israel, mercilessly slaughtering 1.2 million civilians already held inside a concentration camp, under siege for over 10 years, whom forget having an army to defend themselves. They don't even have drinking water or electricity. So, what is the message being sent to the world? If you want to preserve your people and have its dignity respected, violence is your only option. Might is the only law that's a constant in this jungle of nations. This is what the Western liberal world has taught us Muslims. And it's a lesson we will take full advantage of because it's written in the blood of our helpless, innocent children. By your logic, Western logic, if the Israelis have the right to defend themselves, well, so do the Palestinians. If Israel can massacre 20,000 people in retaliation for 1,200, for 20,000 Palestinians can massacre, 200,000 Israelis. Why not? My question is, why is there one rule for the mighty and one for the weak and helpless? But this is how you operate, isn't it? This is how you colonized the world in the 19th and the 20th century. Your way is always superior. Dignity is only reserved for you. Savages don't even deserve self-defense. If Netanyahu is hiding in a building in the middle of Tel Aviv, Palestinians ought to have the right to level 3 blocks, if we are being fair. If Yoav Golant is in a shopping mall surrounded by 300 civilians, by your logic, Palestinians should be allowed to take out the entire mall. Why not? But you will call them terrorists, while the Palestinian dead are but collateral. They're bits and parts, building parts. They're not even human. And when Israel targets civilians on purpose, the dead are further undignified. They're labeled human shields. Every effort is made to maximize civilian casualty, and then to deny these poor people are even dying just to ensure that more people can be killed. When they kill a Palestinian, all they have to say is, this person was a human shield, and they get away with it. Now that's the going rate for taking out, snuffing out a Palestinian life, as set out by the US and the European powers. Israel may as well go out and shoot Palestinians point blank and be done with it. In fact, they already are. You don't kill 90% civilians if you're not targeting them. Don't even waste my time. I want to leave you with this quote from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran.
وَلَن يَجْعَلَ اللَّهُ لِلْكَافِرِينَ عَلَى الْمُؤْمِنِينَ سَبِيلًا